Maria, but it sounded like an interesting poem.
I guess it's just been one of those times that
Bye, Maddie.
started and rebooted and stuff lately, so it comes and goes, everything works perfectly at one time, and then everything works terribly and then works perfectly. So.
Hello, Zara. Hi, everyone who's just arrived. We're putting out more mushrooms. Hi, Liz. And Aeon and Marielle. So nice to see you. And Scotius, thank you for coming. Wow, Oods, hello.
Hello.
Hello, buddy. Maddie just left me a note saying, I said, take care. She said, okay, I guess I can try to take care. You can take ice cream. Very clever.
Well, it is now 6 o'clock and time to officially welcome Luna. Luna, show's all yours.
Now can Luna walk? Luna can hop. MJ, I must say you look adorable. You all look adorable. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm glad I'm here. You'd think I'd be ready. I am ready. You just think that I was more ready. Oods, I'm glad you dressed for the occasion. Hi, Bon Chance. Hello, Sevi. Nice to see you both. Oh, and I see Gamma back there. Hi, Gamma. And Dana. Dana, who doesn't like poetry. Yay, Dana. Hello, Magic. Hi, Muse. Hello, Muse. So glad you're here. Okay, am I sitting on the mushroom? Sitting on a mushroom, waiting for the band to play. Okay. Well, that was an interesting social time and open mic, I must say. I must say, indeed. Thank you, Serene. Thank you for coordinating at Circe's, and I'm so glad to be here. Hello, Kayleen. And Dante. And Magic. Hello, hello. Okay. Serena, I'll trust that you are going to welcome people, and you too, MJ, yes? And Bernard. Hi, Gamma, are you hearing? Okay, it's 6:03. I know, check out Gamma's avatar. Gamma's avatars are always quite magical. Is everyone hearing? Sound check, sound check. Loud and clear. Wonderful. Okay, this isn't going to work. All right, I'm going to begin with a poem. I'm going to put this on mute just for one moment. Thank you, Serene.
Mute.
Hi, Bon Chance. Can you hear? Gamma, it's been ages. Hello, how are you? I'm going to talk until Luna comes back so you folks can check and make sure you're hearing.
Good idea. Good idea.
There's Luna.
Hi, Sonatus. Because voice is off. Everyone else here okay? Yeah. Okay. Yes, okay. I'm so glad to see you all. I know I've said that before, but it's been a while since I've seen some of you, and I'm not surprised that Gamma knows Serene. Gamma, you know everybody. Does everyone know Gamma? Thank you, Sonatus. Great, Serene. And Liz. Okay. I'm going to start with a poem by Mary Oliver. And everyone knows Gamma and Shisa, who's not here, but she's here in spirit. And I am going to begin with this poem by Mary Oliver. This is a poem that is for all of us, and a poem that became important to me some many years ago. The Journey. One day, you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles, mend my life, each voice cried. But you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Though the wind pried with all its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible, it was already late enough and a wild night and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. And that's Mary Oliver's The Journey. Hello, Julie. Thank you. Thank you. And speaking of haiku, thank you guys. Yeah, it's a good poem. It's an amazing poem. I don't know what year she wrote that. I should have looked. This is a haiku I wrote last June called Rain, which it very rarely rains in Northern California in June. Oh, Dana's not hearing. Ah, I just realized she's IMing me. Have too many IMs open. Rain in June. When yoga ended today, I watched the rain fall on cedars through the window. Haiku are fun to write, huh, Dave?
Can you read what I wrote? Cadence of the Ride.
I'm being given poetry to read now.
Cadence of the Ride.
Of the ride?
Cadence of the Ride.
Cadence of the Ride.
Welling summer thoughts of home.
Welling lulling summer thoughts of home.
Asphalt hit my head.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Shmoo.
He didn't finish for the people.
Asphalt hit my head was the last line. Asphalt hit my head. That's 5 syllables. You got it. Hi, stranger. Welcome to Circe's Sanctuary in Glen. Are we putting more mushrooms out? Oh my goodness. Hi, stranger.
Luna, I put out lots of mushrooms.
Okay.
And they're going to
so
appear sometime next week. So,
people can sit down when they choose to.
yeah, sit on the ground.
This is a poem, actually a couple of poems that I wrote in 1996, just because I've been recently called a new poet by a clearly young person in Second Life, but who's been in Second Life longer than I have. So this is my qualifier that I'm not, in fact, a new poet. Seeking the sacred. How do we seek the sacred among the feared and afraid? How do we open and reopen again? How do we define what is sacred? How do we express and or write what is in our hearts and minds and souls? How do we know to try to seek or define or write anything at all, much less the sacred? And that was in 1996. Exactly, magic after 20 plus. Yes, we are new poets compared to Robert Frost, Dave. Indeed. Indeed we are. I so appreciate all of you being here. It's been a difficult year, as most of you know, and this is the first time that I've read since the middle of July, and so it's lovely to have your support, and I have appreciated all of your support over these past months. This is called Junko's Distinctive Voice. And hopefully I will not be accompanied by my kitty cat, Maggie, who just came in the room. Come here, girl. Junko's Distinctive Voice. This was written in February of 2012. The thing about poetry is that it cuts to the chase if you're lucky and do it well. The ego almost doesn't have time to get in the way. The diffusion of story can become shortened and precise. Where leaves hang on vines and spiders wait, the light is filtered through the forest limbs, and the archer readies her bow and takes aim. When fungus grows thick and pale on darkened bark, twigs break, squirrels skitter, deer stand still. The red-tailed hawk cries, and tiny juncos chirp their whistles back and forth. The same way, in that quickened place, with swift purpose, poetry takes its aim. And that's Junko's Distinctive Voice. Thank you. Yes, Maggie does have a distinctive voice. You've heard her before, Muse. She lets us know she's here. Thanks, Serene. This is Pause and Meditate. And this was written in May of 2012. I sit and look at the face of the Buddha that sits on the small altar in my bedroom. The quartz crystal, the carnelian, the sea glass, and shells encircle Buddha, enhance my serenity, and give time for me to pause and take in the pearl of Kuan Yin, the obstacle-moving form of Ganesh, the image of an Asian wagon, and the bell I ring to bless this house, this world, and rest in knowing that light transcends the darkest of days. When grief engulfs, that life transcends, and grief does pass. And that's Pause. And I need to read that one because I need to read that one. Thank you. Muse. Yes, it does. It does, darling MJ. Thank you. This is a poem that I was inspired to write after the Second Life 9th birthday, when I had seen so many incredible builds and artists' work. And this is called In Awe. Struck vivid and with awe is what I am. With Second Life, my heart rallies to this world of color filled with beauty beyond the resources that my tired soul had been drained. Struck vivid and with awe is what I am, with a renewed sense of longing that I had let settle into a place of waiting and all but gone from true believing. Struck vivid and with awe is what I am, with the artistry and imagination, the hope of hearts held up to virtual candles, the dreams of artists ever after in shapes and words. Struck vivid and with awe is what I am, with a bliss that strikes so deeply, with a bliss that is the welcome of life, both first and second. I am in awe. Still and to this day. Always. Thank you, Sonatus. Thank you, everyone. This is a poem that my good friend Stephen Sixpence suggested I watch and read. He had the opportunity to see Billy Collins recently, and this is a poem called The Country, and several of Billy Collins' poems have been put to animation, so put your imagination to this. Hello, CG. Hi, Wisdom. Or what? I'm sorry, I've got two computers I'm working with here, and thank you, Blair. The Country by Billy Collins. Listen to this closely. I wondered about you when you told me never to leave a box of wooden strike anywhere matches lying around the house because the mice might get into them and start a fire. But your face was absolutely straight when you twisted the lid down on the round tin where the matches, you said, are always stowed. Who could sleep that night? Who could whisk away the thought of the one unlikely mouse padding along a cold water pipe behind the floral wallpaper, gripping a single wooden match between the needles of his teeth? Who could not see him rounding a corner, the blue tip scratching against a rough-hewn beam, the sudden flare, and the creature, for one bright shining moment, suddenly thrust ahead of his time, now a fire starter, now a torchbearer, in a forgotten ritual, little brown druid illuminating some ancient night? Who could fail to notice, lit up in the blazing insulation, the tiny looks of wonderment on the faces of his fellow mice, one-time inhabitants of what once was your house in the country? Stephen, if you have if you have that link for people to see, it's fun to see. Yes, very clever mice. They like to carry off little things. This is a poem written last August, 2012, here at Circe's. And it's called Immersed at Circe's. Many of you know that Circe Broom, I believe, was the first person to use, druid mice. It's great, isn't it? It's so good. Druid mice, indeed. Hi, Anne. Long time no see. Good to see you. Anyway, Circe Broom passed last November. And she was dear to many of us here, and I had the good fortune to get to know her for a short while. And so in honor of Circe, immersed at Circe's. This wealth of possibilities is endless, the waterfall of voices coursing in melodic, and here I am, subsumed in avatar form, sitting in a pixelated pose upon a mushroom, immersed in the flow, listening to the words, streaming the poet's show must go on, this boon of words meant to reach our drums, the heart, the ear, the part of us that longs for the fresh assuage, meant for minds open and veins bleeding and secrets buried, seeking the clean air of being heard, aired out like laundry in the sun. A cool breeze brushes my cheek with the tone, the voices bring forth an ease and soothing sounds of poetry, where images are fixed in allegory and story, where verse frees itself of tethers only tied when it is desired. And that's immersed at Circe's Sanctuary for Poets. Thank you. Thank you, Serene. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marielle. Thank you so much. This is a signature poem that many of you will recognize, and I wrote this also last August. Even Yoko's Castaways, how magic. As a baby, this is called Cynical Optimist. As a baby, I was born of hope and the Holy Ghost. As a child, I was promise and filled with the grace in nature. As an adolescent, I was energy and anger, sustained by beauty and exploration, certain that we would change the world. As a teenager and young adult, I was filled with spirit, idealism, and rebellion. In my 20s, I was fueled by all of these things and come of age. By 30, I was faith-filled spiritual seeker and believed that to be human was to evolve. At 35, I was fearless, spirit-filled, sexual, and certain of justice for all. By 40, I was promised through and through. But by 45, I became debilitated by the lack of change all around me and the worsening, sickening state of the world. Older now, spiritual practice keeps me going, and I work hard to renew my faith with hope for the evolutionary possibilities of our conscious minds and hearts that I do believe are possible, even now, when, to be honest, I am jaded and I am cynical, but I am still optimistic. I am still optimistic. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dante and Kayleen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shmoo. Thank you. Yes, it's a continuing journey for sure, Muse. This is called Parallel, and this was written last October 2012. And needless to say, Second Life inspired it. I dreamed I was in a parallel universe. The last dream this morning remembered I could see myself standing in one place looking across the street to another where my other self stood holding binoculars. I tried to look away and to will my other self to look away and not turn the binoculars toward me. The urge to cry came fully through me, an awareness of the loss surrounding in every corner, coming from all directions. I could see the possibilities all around me, the forgiveness of Father, the message to allow the clay of my heart to be shaped by this bowl-making force of sorrow that will then allow for more love to fill it. But I'm not ready, I kept thinking. but will I ever be? Rabbi Hillel said, "We are not expected to complete the task, but we are expected to participate in it." Something like that. Thank you. Yes, I just read back and saw what you had written, Serene. Please do support. I see that some of you are generously lauding me with lindens, and I do appreciate it. And I will be sharing them with the sim here. Bernard is our host of the sim here, and for those of you who do not know, New Brighton is down below us, and it's an incredible replica of the New Brighton in England, and we definitely want to give some lindens to the little gnome to help keep New Brighton and Circe's going. To help keep New Brighton clean, is that what you said? I have an audience here too, as you can tell. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, next poem here. I had to pause after that last one. And is the gnome on loan from Travelocity? I believe so, Dante. I believe that's where Dante borrows, or Bernard borrows him from, or maybe Serene gets him. No, it was good. Good. I wrote this last November, and I'm using the wrong button to get to it. Self-explanatory. I will miss you. I told him I will miss you, and felt so helpless as I watched him, his hands shaking as he tried to raise and put them behind his head, a routine action at any time before, but no longer. He is weakening minute by minute, leaving slowly through an opening portal that has been created for him over time. 2 weeks ago he lifted my hand as I held his and kissed it sweetly and gently with love, and I brought his hand to my face and kissed it as well. The last time he said I love you was just a short week ago, and now his eyes close more frequently, the blindness in them turned fully inward. He sees nothing at all anymore, it seems, and words are completely gone for him now. Apart from indiscernible spoutings of confusion and angst born of frustration at not being able to see for so long, vision leaving, words missing, time gone, and angst born of an inability to understand and to be understood. The future started slipping away a few short years ago, while the past crept up like a wave when you sit with your back to the sea and it crashes around you, leaving you soaked in surprise and wonder. It can be dangerous to turn your back to the sea, but for my father, his love for the ocean would have him trust it to the very end. His wish to go there will be what dreams may come for him, I pray. And my father did pass on December 20th last year. My rocks. This is called Crossover, and again, thank you, Magic. Thank you, Zara. Thank you, Muriel. Thank you, everyone. Crossover. This was written in January for my father. Who knew that one short year would hold the lightness of being avatar pixels to the extent that time would wrap round itself concentrated into memories too vast to sustain. Reality bites hard into the heart with its ever onward loss, cuts deep and scars red across white skin. She weaves her way through crowded rooms, smiles, says hello, and marks time once again. Vista views have taken a new turn. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, she quotes Rumi one more time, and movement from light to dark sparks insight, awe, and fear. The ever-present sadness lingers. Grief holds its vigil steadfast every night, and each new morning awakened awareness that it's true. This loss will never end. This is a message from the Hopi elders, and it was written by a man named John Izzo, and it was written in 2001. To my fellow swimmers, there is a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They are being torn apart and will suffer greatly. Know that the river has its destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, keep our heads above the water, and I say, see who is there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves, for the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey come to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for. That's for you, my dear MJ. And this in keeping follows. Do you have tea water on? This was written in March 2012, and it's called Heritage. Heritage and ancestry. We look for in each other our vast and open family, our sisters and our brothers. Father brings one set of genes, mother quite another. The two combine toward our dreams, our hearts trust in each other. We look to Wales and to France, Cherokee, Romanian age. We look to Ireland and dance, fused, this blood, our heritage. And that's Heritage. Good night, Oods. Thank you for being here. Have fun tonight. I'm going to maybe steal some of these people and come and see you in the Rocky Horrid picture show. Oods is playing Eddie in the Rocky Horrid picture show. It's been lovely to see you. See you later. Have a great show for sure. This is called The Candle Over Time, and this was written in the following March. And again, my father's birthday is in March. The Candle Over Time, and this was suggested to me by my husband when we noticed how the candle we have on the piano, along with photos and other things, some of him has been with us for a very long time and marked so much time. The Candle Over Time. The candle spoke to me today. It said, time is passing. I thought, well, of course it is. But then the candle rebuked me and told me to look to all that had gone before it was lit, then relit, and the leaves fell from the trees. while the sun shone from the south into my father's bedroom window, where he lay in discomfort, and prayer and hope whispered through every crack in the woodwork. Songs were written and sung, bicycles were built, babies born, and the memories of pumpkins found their way to photos, found their way to pies, and apples were picked and eaten, delivered to the bastions of cooks, readying feasts of roast turkey, all before lying down to say, "I love all of you. I'm just tired." The candle reminded me of this today, and how it continues burning well into the spring, long after the ending came for my father. Thank you. Hi, Pemba. Nice to see you. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Hello, anyone who I haven't seen. Hi, Red, Marie. Nice to see you. Yes, Shmoo, I understand. This is another sort of signature poem, and a little bit lighter. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. This is called Shapeshift, and if you listened, it's a beat style of poetry. Shapeshift. Shift my world out of time to change from this to that form 4 letters in a word meant to be heard without end, in this endless cynicism throughout my optimist nature, to turn spirit on to my own cynical optimism born of the 60s, turn around and shape the words, and outright yell until you feel the howling within and without which silence wins. And that Shapeshift, and that was written in March. Thank you guys. This is a poem by the poet and wonderful friend Karima Hoysen, and she has given me the liberty to read that slam material. Yes. Thank you, Zara. I'm so glad that you were here, dear. Really, thank you. I will see you soon. Take good care. Mwah. This is Karima Hoysen, and it's called A Net Full of Eels, and it was written in 2007. And when I read it earlier, my listener thought I was going to say Annette Funicello, and I guess you had to be there, but it was pretty funny. But now every time I read Annette, I go there. A Net Full of Eels by Karima Hoysen, who I hope I can do justice to. She couldn't be here tonight, and yes, she is. Slippery eels sliding through the net holes, the mesh somewhat large, I can't contain them all. Suspended, how they eye the water world of survival far below. With all their strength and agility, they wriggle out of certain death. In their quest to live, they choose the desperate fall. Many upon many cascade in painful belly flops. They beat the water with their blackened forms. Some gracefully, like rigid high dive athletes, push through head first, puncture the ocean surface clean, breaking every written record, barrier, norm. It is so painful to watch their struggle end. I root for all of them to make it through, but some have succumbed to being out too long. The sun is hot, the distant drop into the element, the water, if not done just exactly right, would likely kill them. I am more amazed than repulsed by what I see, for their slithering brings out primal anxiety and makes me shake. Still, a small compassion rooted deep inside of me stirs as on the docks they start to fade and bake. O Allah, bless the fortunates who never knew the net. Bless those who grew in strength and made it safely home. Bless the ones caught up who never could escape. Poor eels. And Karima has a wonderful blog. Her last name is spelled Hoisan. Yeah, Karima's a wonderful poet. If you ever get a chance to hear her, she's not been doing a lot of reading lately. She sets her poetry to music, and it's quite amazing, and she makes incredible machinima with Natasha Rant with her poetry. This is called Peering, and it was written in April of this year. And there's an epigram. Good night, Liz. Thank you so much for being here. Good night. Good night, good night. Peering. Invoking spirit, invoking the muses, all 9 of them, that's right, 9, especially Talia, the comedic muse I need to laugh and invoke laughter. That's basically an epigram to a poem that's really not funny. This window. This window is wide open, looking east towards sun-rising houses lining the shore. Breakers relieve the swells with every flow, forward rush, crush, white, sound bright, rock barriers calm, mighty sea. This ocean haunts me with its vast views, glassy water, reflect the depths of the myriad who have sailed here, walked here, dreamed here in peace, dreamed here in this place so avidly, created beautiful, with starfish, tule, and redtail. This eyed, wide open vision peering leeward cross the sea's expanse, and docks that sit at water's edge awaiting sails be raised to carry far the dreamer's dream, the sailor's longing, the sun now high, the sky wide open, the blues too much to bear. Such beauty calls to all who would see it. And that's Peering. Here's another Mary Oliver poem. Thank you. And this is called Ocean, to follow that. I am in love with ocean, lifting her thousands of white hats in the chop of the storm, or lying smooth and blue, the loveliest bed in the world. In the personal life there is always grief more than enough, a heartload for each of us on the dusty road. I suppose there is a reason for this, so I will be patient, acquiescent, but I will live nowhere except here, by ocean, trusting equally in all blast and welcome of her sorrowless salt self. And that's Ocean. And in keeping, this was written in June and is called Facing West. Is it time for me to face the west where not knowing what I see and believe in literacy of culture of myth tells a story of how we got here where it all turns out okay for springing into summer nears us round the corner of June and July, prompt the heralds cue the spotlight on awakening and burgeoning rebirth for our world, our earth, our voice, the human optimist crying out with the old vows and ways of doing what is needed now, when the world turns faster than ever. Corner of June. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. This is a poem to take us into the city. Even though I like being by the ocean, I love being at the virtual Hotel Chelsea. And this was written for the well, no, this wasn't written for the anniversary in May. This was written after, and it's called Chelsea Window. Chelsea Window. So it's a Monday night at the Hotel Chelsea in NYC, virtual as it is, historic as it ever was, faded textures, a bit run down. I see the red neon tubes spell out the word Chelsea illuminate my night outside this window where I write. It is a place where people find some of themselves, find they knew was around somewhere, says one bohemian resident friend when I ask for his first thoughts on the Chelsea. My mind jumps and I see the blue bohemians forgotten. Howl comes to mind and I imagine Allen Ginsberg finding parts of himself there in those halls between rooms, pursuing the artwork on walls to find his own, eager to know others and relate and regale the emotions of the day, just as now I see the blue bohemians forgotten. The walls speak like mirrors of the past, in cracked paint and paper reflect the music of Leonard Cohen's workers in song, the paint, flash, poetry, and splash of more artwork than anyone can imagine. I see the red neon tube spell out the word Chelsea illuminate my night outside this window where I write. Here in this brick 12-story hotel where sailors take refuge from the sea to seek the depths of mystery in voice, dance, and the romance of the muse within these walls. I see the red neon tubes spell out the word Chelsea illuminate my night outside this window where I write. However ghostly it all may be, there is the creative, the magic, the crazy, the tragic. We all come together to rally round it and look inward back through each window. I see the blue bohemians forgotten, the buskers, the truthful, the lonely, where Kerouac and the two Dylans waxed on in zen disbelief and final certainty. I see the red neon tube spell out the word Chelsea illuminate my night outside this window where I write. Where Larry Rivers ran his circles in the poetry of paint, where Stanley Bard and Arthur Nash are bright reminders that Janis Joplin and Sid Vicious will live on, even as I see the blue bohemians forgotten. We remember, are pulled to it like moths to flame, bane and sorrow we cannot help ourselves but to create, drawn to this muse, the history cries out to us to not forget. I see the red neon tubes spell out the word Chelsea illuminate my night outside this window where I write. Thank you guys. It is more than a building. Thank you everyone. This is for another, hi Rowena. Hello, Michael, Romani. Hi, Mia. This is another friend who's not here tonight unless she came in. I don't see her on radar. And these are two poems by Grail Arnica. And these are summer haiku for little sister. Sweet air as clouds part, nodding yellow blooms, clear dropped notes, blue-winged singer. Sweet air as clouds part, nodding yellow blooms, clear dropped notes, blue-winged singer. And this is joy soaks dark skin in sunlight. She considers bright red toes seeking into sand. Grail is a regular at Circe's, or was for a long time. And now in the continuing journey, most of you know that my mother passed in July. And I have selected so many more poems than I can possibly read. And this is called No Periods Needed, and it was written in July. The notes are left on stickies and small pages from pads decorated with seasonal images, autumn leaves, Santa, blooming iris, and the words read as list. Chemo on Tuesday, July 15th. The day of the week is incorrect. The 15th was a Monday, I notice now, days later. Other days noted, D and kids here Sunday. What to get A for her birthday? Last 4 digits of Social Security. A numbered list that says 1. Estate sale. 2. Sell house. 3. Pay bills. And the last one, 4. Close all accounts. And the awareness is that the list is for me and my siblings, not her. There are no periods, but there are commas, and there are numbers. Numbers for everything, phone numbers, bank numbers, password numbers, doctor's numbers, health insurance numbers, all these little notes noted in her unsteady but still perfect handwriting. No printing, no slacking, but no periods. These are lists, and the period is inferred, understood, and left unspoken and unwritten. Without it, it's as if things can all keep going. I do not want to use one now. Thank you. Hello. Hi, Flops. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, darling. This is called Deeper Now, and I wrote this in August. Deeper Now. Peaches. On the day before I was born, legend according to my mother is that she ate 3 pounds of peaches. Just 2 large pieces, but apparently the pounds were measured, and it counted for my soft skin and my love for peaches. She and I shared this love of this luscious fruit up until her last days. A month later now, and the pink juice runs down my chin. I begin to cry with summer sweetness memories of each peach since time began. This is called Driving. Hi, Tessa. And this was written at the end of August. I drove to the edge of the continent today, stopped to find a metaphor and a better way to say, my heart is bleeding, similes, dark, coarse, jagged, torn to pieces against porous rock of tide pools, seeking solace in the tiny orange starfish there. The purple anemones pulsing tendrils soften me into a sorted out, even-keeled soul. The horizon strengthens my vision, while the breakers and surf sound the quiet and the rest I need right now. And that's driving. Another dear friend and poet who I thought might be here, but she gave me the liberty to read this, is Miss Leslie Ryder, and this is called Clementines. In keeping with peaches, this is Clementines. My clementines came from Spain in a small slatted wooden crate. I pull one out and open it with my thumb. The thick, loose skin peels away easily into shapes of unknown continents. Fragrant burning oils cling to my fingers, sting my eye, spray my palm. I taste the acrid sweetness pooled there with my tongue. Inhaling, I hesitate, then I wipe my hand in my hair because I want to. And I pry my clementine apart, slipping a whole section into my mouth, crushing it. The oil burns my lip in the corner. Clementines taste like Spain smells. I spit a seed that escaped whole into my hand and poke it into the geranium pot just within reach, packing dirt under my fingernail, which I scrape it out with a torn end of a match, distractedly forgetting already. This morning at my window, the season of the clementine long past, 2 fragile leaves push up, moving mountains, in a new continent, my New York window garden. Welcome, Clementine, I say. Welcome to my window. Isn't that a wonderful poem? She's amazing. She's an amazing writer. Yes, welcome to my window. Um, this is a poem that I wrote on my mom's birthday, which was in September 4th to be exact, and it's called My Heart. My heart is beating hard against my chest. A lucid dream awakens me with a chill. Reality bites deep into quickened ends, quickened departures, left for unknown places. What do I know? What does anyone know? Letting go of self to find her gone, this past is past. Do I now become a new person? The one I'm going to be? Is this a letter of questions? I would have to say so. Is this a letter of hearts breaking into pieces of pieces? There is no going back. I keep looking at her photo from 3 birthdays before this one. Is that 2 birthdays ago? My mind can't do the math. Time becomes its non-dimensional self, like ether wrapped around everything, suffused into a wall that is a casing, a framework, a volley of elements. I cannot get it to add up. Will there be a lockdown on my mind and anger seep in while grief marches on? Me questioning the reality that she is really not coming back. This time it is over. I feel the loss bone deep, the ache in my throat to scream, to ease the stinging in my heart where a hole will never be filled now. How could it ever be? Will there really come a time when acceptance finds its way into the recesses of my heart and mind, and a way to go on without thinking she will still be returning? I want her to return after all these weeks, still expected as possible, because her being gone is just impossible. She was endless, timeless, ever present, always. How can it be otherwise? Yes, I know. Her spirit lives on for us. I know. And just to be clear, my mother did have cancer 3 times prior over the past 20 years, so she really did seem timeless and endless. And speaking of time, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, everyone. This is called Living Room in Bronze, and it was written at the beginning of this month. My forefingers sit on the nubs of the letters F and J, caressing the little raised lines that tell me where I am, ground me on the keyboard pad and my place on earth. I shall sleep soon and awaken, I hope, and nap later. So early in the morning, listening to the music come live across the stream, mellow and sweet-sounding tones, my eyes close and sit here in this room of deep red hues, greens and whites interwoven, a rusty pink upholstered chair in the corner under the standing lamp. Hermes stands near in bronze, his arms back in flight, the wings on his cap, a signature. The stereo is turned off, the weekly radio program over. It is Saturday, and the other sculptures wink at me with some gesture of mischief up their patinaed sleeves, wanting me to notice something. What? The time passing? Where have 10 years gone? Where do 10 years go? Do they all leave together at once? Sometimes it seems so. The mirror on the wall by the door reflects light and time and a sepia-toned reminder that the plants outside want watering. The bonsai sit on the ground, safely tucked from the gutter cleaning done yesterday. The Buddha's head holds its steady pose, eyes closed, and I close my eyes again and see it all behind the closed lids, this room, this haven where the piano sits behind me with its photos of Mom and Dad, with 2 more sculptures, bronzy and of great weight, the weight of time and distance and death, the heaviest of all markers. And I'm looking at the time. Thank you so much. And this is a poem that was written and inspired by a trigger word that Leslie gave us at Burn 2. We had writing going on, and there was a lot of dance at Burn 2, and I hope some of you got to be there, and I know some of you did. Bask at Burn. That night we danced in perfect sync. 20 of us joined on a link of music, fire, and blissful movement. Lights flashed and the mob grew to 30, and in my mind I could see our numbers increasing, imagining 300 Avies dancing. Basking in the fire's glow, bright the light bounces off faces, our hearts joined together in the motion, the trance, the fire burned round us, heated our minds, and blink, the night is gone. Time is the effigy, burned away, and blink, the night is gone, but the afterglow goes on. Two more poems, okay? You guys think you can handle it? Oh, look, it's not here. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Serene. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Yep. Okay, this was written at the beginning of this month, which is not September, it's November. And it's called Our Business. Our business is to create. It doesn't even matter what we do. Line stolen from, it doesn't matter where it was stolen. I changed it a bit. That is all you need to know. I steal lines just like Bob Dylan, just like Dylan Thomas. I am a word larcenist, a robber, purloiner of syntactically well put together phrases that say something I want to say. My business is to create, to invent, to imagine or remember, on your behalf and on my behalf. The perfect corner table and a tiny cafe in the city of your dreams, dreams where the perfect coffee is served demi-tasse, strong and black, sweetened only by the croissant dipped, along with the glance from the loved one across the table, waiting for the kiss to come. And I will conclude with a poem that was written in spring. Sweet. Of last year. Hello, Lucas. I just saw that you're here. How nice that you're here. And this was written in February of 2012. And I will conclude and thank you so much, all of you, for being here and for your supporting the Sim and me in my life and my poetry. Writing and reading. Eve of Atonement. The face of each random Buddha. Aquiline nose divides her face in two halves and the hours pass, following a black cat into the night of the sweetness promised by spring. What makes you think this year is different? Hope coming round its endless turn each February. You look to March and all things vernal, imagining hearts awakened and aware, filled to the brim with possibility. The bloom is on, flushed rich with color, crimson, sanguine, and freshly pink, chambers beating full, wide open, clear and strong. Feel the longing, pulse in rising accordance with green buds. And longer days, like arms held open, call you out. There is a faith in every tree, in each new moment, while sun brims the horizon and holds its place like a bookmark in the sky. You must keep reading. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Serene. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you, Luna. I can't believe an hour's gone by so quickly. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Luna was one of the first people that I talked to when I knew that I was going to be booking people for here again. And, we talked about it, and I told her when she was ready. And this is the date she named, and I am just so pleased to have her. Hi, Miss. So glad to have her here to read again. I know it's been hard, Luna. It's been a really hard year, but we love you and so glad to have you back here. Just a word to everybody. Next week, at the 6 p.m. time slot, we have Forky Acropolis, as we do the last week in every month. We'll be talking to Luna about when she wants to come back here again and read. We hope she'll be a regular here. I am reading Tuesday for Frida over on Book Island for an hour at 5 p.m. So anybody who would like that that landmark that doesn't have it, IM me and I'll get you that. And once again, thanks everybody for coming out. If you have any spare lindens, we certainly appreciate any donations you can make. But the other way to support us is just to spread the word that we are here every Saturday. 5 p.m. is an open mic and social. It is a very, very laid-back, free-for-all, which has very few rules. If the Lindens won't put you off the sim for what you do, we won't either. And 6 p.m. we have a list of readers that do this solo thing. So every week, just tell your friends that we're here. We would appreciate that. And also, if you're the gift giving season is upon us. If you're in a pinch for a gift to give or just want something for your home, Bernard makes real-life sculptures that are truly unique. These wall plaque things, and they make they're very inexpensive. And the sign is over to my left, your right, or Bernard, I'm sure, will be glad to give you the URL where you can check that out. And that's it. I'm done.
Thanks. Am I on? Thanks for the plug, Luna. Serene, thanks for organising this, and huge thanks to Luna. It was a brilliant read, and it's really great to see so many people here. And of course, thank you all for the donations, which are very much appreciated. Things, as ever, are precarious here in New Brighton. But hopefully you'll continue to support. I've frozen up. I don't know whether you can still hear me, but can anybody hear me?
I hear you, Bernard. Are you
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you want to click on that sign up there to look at my sculptures, then maybe you or someone you know might fancy one of those, and that too will help us keep going here. And that's all I'm going to say. Thanks, everybody. See you next week. I'm going to have to relog now.
And hurry and get them now. They're going fast. Back to you, Serene.
Thanks, Mithril.
I should get you to do my advertisements. You've got the authentic Hollywood voice there.
Yeah, he is.
Either you're British or you're very good at faking it, but I would be happy to help you in any way I could, good sir. And of course, unless you want some from Texas, I'd still probably help you anyway, because...
Coming soon to a sim near you.
The wonderful Mithril Weaver, folks. Give him all a hand. Woo-woo! If you know anybody who needs advertisements, it can't beat Mithril.